the hike without killing myself. As long as I can walk away, I consider that memorable and successful.
All right, what's your favorite part of the whole Appalachian Trail?
Different parts for different reasons. This part we're walking today because it means so much to so many of my former students. And because as a teacher, I've introduced students to this part of the trail, and they've made the trail their own. As a walker, I like Georgia. Georgia's section of the trail is the best maintained and easiest to walk. There's different parts of the trail I love for different reasons.
When did you actually get involved with helping maintain the trail and volunteering?
In the late 80s, I became a maintainer for the trail. I helped build 2 shelters on the trail and helped build this section here. And then in the early 90s, once I started graduate school, that took my time, and I got out of being an official maintainer for the trail.
Why would you say the Appalachian Trail is different than other trails that because there's 2 trails out west that span the country. What makes this different than those trails?
Just it's in the east. It's close to population centers, so you can be out there, but not as remote as you would be on the Pacific Crest Trail or the Continental Divide Trail. It's accessible to more of the population of the United States. I think those are 2. It's also a different trail. I think it's a tougher trail than what you'd find out west because of the elevation changes, the humidity, the bugs. I guess I should say insects, and the crowds.
Was there any is there any attack?
You're doing great.
I know, but I don't know how to phrase this because I can't read my own handwriting.
Phrase it stupidly.
What was the best view of the sky you ever saw?
The one I can just recently remember is standing at 6,700 feet at Clingman's Dome in North Carolina in the Smokies, being surrounded by snow, temperatures in the upper teens, and I'm surrounded by snow and I'm looking down off the mountain and everything is green and sunlit. That was the weekend after Easter this year. That was the best one I can remember so far.
Any dangerous moments on the trail?
Plenty. I took one fall that tore my meniscus and ligament. One that I really shouldn't have walked away from because I fell and was trapped by dead trees. We got a runner coming, guys, if you want to clear the trail. I've had some spectacular falls in the trail that I've been able to walk away from. Good morning.
Ever meet any interesting people on the trail?
Everybody.
Everyone?
Everybody.
No one sticks out in your mind?
No, because everybody on the trail is just out here to be in the woods, carry their home. I find the nicest people I meet are out here.
Out here? What's the longest length you've ever walked on the trail?
This past spring, I walked 400 miles on the trail, and that's the most I've been out. Prior to that, I did one 300-mile walk, and usually it was just going out for spring breaks and summer vacations, about 70 to 100 miles at a clip.
Who's your mentor growing up?
His name is Paul DeCoste, and he was my teacher in high school. And then years later, I met him again when he was teaching at Vernon High School. He introduced me to the trail. He introduced me to writing. And when I found myself hired as a teacher, I'd never taken any classes as a teacher. I walked into a classroom and said, "What would Paul DeCoste do?" And I started teaching. It is also he who laid out this trail that we're walking The view at the top, Pinwheel Vista, is named after Paul DeCoste. That's his trail name. I owe everything to that man.
And any advice you give to people that are just trying to... any advice to people who are just starting life in the real world?
Your education is everything. And I know that sounds like the party line, but the longer you stay in school and the more education you get, the more possibilities you open up for yourself. Also, and this sounds funny, but I don't mean it, avoid tying yourself down to a relationship or to families for as long as you can. Keep your possibilities open. You can always get married, you can always have children, but make sure that you like who you're seeing in the mirror before you bring somebody in to look in the mirror with you.
And the last question, you ever meet any celebrities on the trail?
No.
Oh, all right.
I'm trying to think. No. One. A trail celebrity. Earl Schaefer, who was the first man to walk the entire Appalachian Trail in 1948. He walked it again in 1958. And then he walked it again at he was in his 80s. And he walked the trail again in the early 1990s. So he was a trail celebrity.
All right. I'm done. How do you shut this off?